Guess what I got? I got me a contract signed.
We got it under contract for $30,000. We'll be wholesaling it for $45,000. That's a $15,000 spread on that. It should be closing the next couple of days, and I'm just very excited.
And I got it under contract for $66,000. And working with Peter and the team, 95. So it's a good spread of profit right there. Yeah, this is my first deal, so I'm excited. You guys working with the team, they've been really helpful and transparent the whole way, helping me with everything that I need.
We're here with our first house we've made a deal on, and working with Peter and Partner Driven Realty has proven to be extremely easy and awesome, and we're super excited about what the future holds.
I couldn't have done it without the help from all the Partner Driven team. They told me all the stuff that I needed, all the questions I had, they answered right away. And because of them, I'm getting ready to close on my first deal.
I joined the program about 3 months ago, and I'm going to tell you right now, I did not know the hard work that was involved in making this happen. The staff at Partner Driven right there behind you to help you carry these deals through. I am so excited about the money coming in from just a little hard work, but guess what? It paid off.
If you follow their system, it does really work.
Hey, if anybody out there is interested in getting in real estate, hey, get with Peter Vaxman at the Partner Driven program. They're so much help, and they're just like family.
I do not have to go to work next week. I don't have to go to work next month, next year. I do not have to go to work. Thanks to Mr. Vaxman and his team and my previous experience of learning in real estate. This is one of the best I've ever seen. With the Partner Driven 101, I would advise anyone out there, if you really want to get into real estate, this is the best of the best that you'll ever find.
I mean, it's an amazing program. They put up their own money to help fund the deals. I mean, like, who does that? Like, Partner Driven does that.
I'm proud to say I'm part of Partner Driven. I've seen results so fast that I can't even believe how lucky I am to have met these folks. They're not just amazing human beings, but they're really experienced, savvy investors that know how to play the game, and they're actually making things happen every day, every week. They have multiple deals with multiple partners nationwide. They fund 100% of your deals. They create leads for you, and they mentor you. I feel overwhelmed. I feel lucky. Just try it out. You won't regret it.
Hey everyone, I cannot wait for you guys to see what we've got in store for you tonight. For those of you out there, you know what I like. If you saw this before, you've got to let me know exactly where you are. I would love to know where everybody is. Put your city and state, and I would love to call that out there. So welcome everyone. Strangely enough, normally you guys are used to seeing me at my kitchen table. I have no clue why I never thought, hey, maybe I should do these webinars in my office. This is actually in the upstairs loft of my house. Kind of like to be up here. It's open area. By the way, I live in Dahlonega, Georgia, which is North Georgia. Strangely enough, one thing a lot of people don't know is the first gold rush in America actually happened in Dahlonega, Georgia. Not California, not Alaska. So that's a little bit of history for you about where I'm from. We have got, let's see, Tamika in Little Rock, Arkansas, Terry from Baltimore, Maryland, Scott's over there in California, Rafa, of course, is in Atlanta. We got old Huntley down there in Spring Hill, Florida, Tom, Greenville, South Carolina, Daya from Charlotte, Shane Ray right in Cumming, Georgia, actually born and raised there. We got Eli. He didn't say where he's from, but he's a partner of ours, and him and his wife are in Orlando area. We got Kurt from Grand Blanc, Michigan. Gene from Pennsylvania. Oh, by the way, Gene, we're doing a deal in Lancaster right now. We're actually flipping it. It's only about 3 weeks away. I don't know if you know where North Plum Street is, but that's where we're flipping a house. David over there in Tennessee. Brian on from Fayetteville, Georgia. Mark from Monroe, Georgia. We got Pittsburgh. Tracy from Kent, Ohio. We got Lynn from Mobile, Alabama. hey, for any of you, nobody ever thinks, okay, I should visit Mobile, Alabama. It's literally one of the coolest places I've ever been to. I mean, it's like right on the water. There's a lot of cool spots there. So if you're ever driving through Alabama and you get down there towards the coast, you've got to go to Mobile. Eugene from Chicago, Illinois. We got Keith Chambers in South Carolina. So guys, so you know the reason why we do these every Tuesday night. Number one is to spend a little bit more time with our current partners. Number two reason why we do these webinars is because if you're out there and you're watching this and you would like to be one of our partners, this is one way for you to connect with us, kind of see that we're real people for sure, right? And to, teach you a little bit about this business. I've really been blessed, and I mean blessed, in the last 6.5 years. And personally, I've done a little over 1,600 deals. My partners and I, we've done probably close to, we keep saying 3,500 deals, but if you add the ones this year, we're closer to probably 3,700 together cumulatively. And what we've done is for years and years, we've done all of our own deals, okay? And by the way, I still do deals each and every day and still work on deals. Don't just teach this. We do what we preach. But what we do now is we partner with people just like you across the nation, okay? So not only do we partner with you, but we show you exactly how to find deals, tell you how to talk to sellers, we provide leads, skip tracing services, and once you find a deal, which I know you will if you work hard and keep at it, we will actually fund the deal and split profits with you 50-50. If you would like to learn more about just how to be one of our partners, all you got to do is go to our website, and then when you go there to partnerdriven.com, you're going to receive a proposal. That is going to let you know exactly what we do, tell you a little bit more about our program, right, to see if maybe it's right for you. But we do have some awesome things to share with you tonight. Also, another thing that literally just came out in the last couple weeks, just for our partners, we've developed an app. This app is so cool, y'all. Like literally, you have the app on your phone, and I'm going to be teaching you guys and talking to you guys tonight about driving for dollars. This is like doing driving for dollars, but like on steroids, okay? And no, I don't mean big muscles, which, I got some big guns, but what this is about is this is taking it to the next level. Imagine this. Imagine you're out driving around, you pull up an address, and in our partner program, we actually will provide you skip tracing for free. This app is also a CRM so that you're able to keep up with all of your leads. That's just like literally one of the many things that we do for our partners that we care for so much. And I know there's a lot of you on tonight that are partners, and thank you, and I cannot wait to build a huge business right there in your area. If you would like to learn more, all you got to do is go to this little website called calljuliemuse.com. Julie, Julie, Muse, M-U-S-E, calljuliemuse.com. It'll go right to their calendar, and like literally they'll call you whenever at the time that you have picked. Are y'all ready to learn a little bit more about driving for dollars tonight? What is driving for dollars? Let me explain that to you in one way. This is one way for you to go out and find deals, which may be called like the unfindables. What do I mean by that? Well, we're in an age right now where a lot of investors are finding all of their leads online. Maybe they're, buying, lists, things like that, which is still a great way to find deals. But how can you be the first one to a deal? Involves a little bit of effort on your part. We call that driving for dollars. I mean, like literally you're driving around looking for distressed properties, and you make money by doing it. For those of you that know me, know I'm not like a real boisterous person, but I'll tell you this. Humbly, I've made over $5 million just doing this strategy right here. And that's in less than 6 years. Doesn't even necessarily include all of the other strategies in which we've been able to do. But let's talk about this a little bit, okay? One thing about me is I literally cannot wait for the day to where I have a classic car. I don't know why. Like when I was a kid, we would go to car shows. You know, my husband and I go to car shows. I totally want a 64 Corvette. I want one fully restored. I want to pull into that car show and be like, yeah, that's my ride. You know, I don't know why, just a dream of mine. Now, let's say you had all the disposable income where it didn't really matter, and you wanted to buy a classic car. What would it be? Go ahead and put it right here in the chat box. I mean, let me know exactly what you would do if that was the goal there. And I'm going to go ahead and read some of your messages. I know good and well that y'all have got some great cars to tell me about, so put it in the chat box. I mean, is it a Camaro? Is it a Mustang? Is it a 57 Chevy? Go ahead and let me know. Oh, Greg says he wants a 63 split window coupe Vet. You stole that from me, Greg. I'm just kidding. We got a 62 Mustang, a 64 GTO. Mark says he's not really interested in classic cars. I understand, Mark, but I promise you I got a point. We got a 69 Mustang, a 68 Chevy pickup. Totally get it. Totally get it. The reason why I had you run through this analogy is this. Driving for dollars is the same thing as looking for those cars as it is for houses. The same way you would approach somebody about that car is the same way you would approach somebody about their house. So if you really wanted this car, okay, let's just use the 76 Pontiac Trans Am that Terry loves. I want you to imagine you're driving down the road, you look out in someone's yard, and remember, you got the money, so don't be worried about that. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's a 76 Pontiac Trans Am sitting in somebody's yard. And the grass has grown up around it, the tires are flat on it, it needs body work and a paint job. It's not for sale though. What would you do to try to buy that car? You might knock on the door. You might leave a letter. You might, this guy said he's going to make him an offer. Absolutely, that's what you would do. But you would not find it weird, would you? You wouldn't think it weird to go knock on the door. You wouldn't think it weird to pick up the phone and call them or send them a letter in the mail or put a note on their door, would you? Not at all. Again, this is what driving for dollars is, but with houses instead of cars. So let's talk about this. What are some things with houses that you should be looking for when you're out driving around? I'm going to give you a hint. Overgrown landscape, tall grass, grass around the trees, Eli says. Scotty says tall grass. Eugene says hanging gutters. Absolutely. Lots of mail in the mailbox, Keith says. Kimberly, broken windows. Scotty said, oh, the blinds are messed up. Jackie says no curtains in the windows. Blankets for curtains. Yes, Daya, that's a great one. Dirty roofs, deteriorating paint, a blue tarp on the roof. Thank you, Mark, for that. So I hope you're hearing these things. When you're out driving around and you're looking for these properties, all of these things that everyone said here tonight are all things you should be looking for when you're out looking for properties. I'm not looking for anything that's already for sale, okay? The reason I'm not is because there's too much competition there. And I want to play in my own field, okay? Got another, I'm like a queen of analogies, okay? When we talk about playing in your own field. Let's say there's 2 fishing ponds, okay? This one over here has got 50 fishermen in there, over there throwing their bait in, okay? That is what I would equivalent to the MLS, the multiple listing service. Over here in this pond, there's nobody over there fishing. And I go to throw my bait in the water. What do you think my chances are of catching a fish in this other pond is? You think I'm going to catch a fish over here where all the other fishermen are, or in this pond? Both of them are fully stocked, by the way, so don't get me on a technicality. Obviously, we're going to catch a fish in this pond. That's why I want to be direct to seller on properties that aren't for sale. So when you're driving around, I want you to always be on the lookout for these type of properties. Now, when you're a partner of ours, you're simply going to just add that directly to your deal-driven app, And when you add that to your Deal Driven app, you're going to press the button that says free skip trace. It's going to pull up all of the information on the owner, and then you're going to market to those individuals like we talked about. It's crazy. We've already got, like, right now, I think I looked this morning, there was 19 new deals from partners just in the last couple of weeks that all came from this strategy. Is that not crazy amazing? So let's talk about what we're looking for. We talked about what we should see at these properties, but what should you not pick? Do you see this picture here of this dilapidated house that I'm showing you? I mean, what do you think the chances of fixing that house up and reselling it is? That house is about as good as a bulldozer coming in and getting rid of it, right? Have y'all seen this movie, Money Pit? I love this movie. It's so hilarious. And, you know, if you're in your 20s, you probably have not seen this movie. But it's got Tom Hanks in it, and it's a cute little movie about where they buy a house and are fixing it up. But these properties that I'm showing you here on this slide, even though in your mind you might think, well, that's exactly what I should be looking for, right? Wrong. You don't want to be looking for something in that bad a shape, because why? You go to try to fix that and resell it, it's going to be a money pit. And you're going to be just like Tom Hanks was in that movie. The only way that I would work a deal like this, that's like a tear down like this, is some of us live in great areas where the land is very valuable. And they're tearing these houses down and building new construction. Like, for instance, Buckhead, Georgia, right? Maybe like San Francisco, LA. We all have, you know, places like that. So that's not where the bread and butter is. In my opinion, it's going to be in our blue collar working class areas. These is actually a few properties that I was able to do a deal on, doing Driving for Dollars. So let's look at these properties and decide kind of like, what about these properties made me write them down and made me call them and work them. This first house here, I remember this very clearly. This is a house in Jacksonville, Florida. Really don't look terrible, does it? No, not really. The roof's a little colored, but what I noticed is this landscape. They haven't been manicuring the landscape. The house needs a little bit of paint job, maybe. These old awnings on the house, it's a little outdated. This was a wholesale deal that we were able to do. At this point, I really don't remember how much money we made on that deal. But I got this deal doing Driving for Dollars, called the seller up, was able to talk to them, went to this appointment. By the way, while I was only traveling there for 3 days, so in 3 days I went to a new city and got a deal and closed on that deal doing Driving for Dollars. This second house, you'll see the mountains in the background. This is up here in Dawsonville, Georgia. This house, I could tell by looking at it, was vacant. There wasn't any blinds in the windows. The garage door was shut. Doesn't look like they actually blowed leaves in a while, but the house was in decent shape. The owner of this property had passed away, so I was able to reach the actual owner, the new owners of the property, which was the people they left it to, by sending a letter with a handwritten envelope. We bought this house, fixed it up, and resold it. So this one was not a wholesale deal. That was a fix and flip. This is, God, I think this is in Canton, Georgia. There wasn't too much that stood out about this house, except for the fact that the yard had like plastic tables, plastic chairs, just junk laying everywhere. The roof, they didn't blow the leaves off the roof. It just was kind of a prime example of somebody that might be in distress. Oh, and there was a bunch of beer cans laying in the yard. So I was like, I'm calling this one. When people are getting started doing this strategy, they often think you got to go for those completely destroyed properties. You are missing the point when you believe that. You've got to be looking for these types, the ones that you can actually do something with. Now you're probably like, Julie, how do I call these people? Believe it or not, tonight I'm going to share with you the real secret to actually setting an appointment. Okay? Do y'all want to hear this? And listen, before I even go into this script, Y'all don't even know how excited I am to have this new app for our partners, just for them to have this control in their hand, you know, and be able to get all of this information. I mean, imagine going and finding a house. And by the way, I didn't have anything like this. And I still do driving for dollars, right? The way I would do it, I would have a notebook in my truck. I'd drive by the house and quickly write down the address and not try to look like a creeper when I stopped in front of their house, right? So I'd write that down. I'd come back home and I'd have my list of all my properties. Then through my system, we would look, or I, truthfully would have a lot of my employees look those up for me so that they could provide that information to me so that I was able to call them. Like now, let's just say I'm out there in front of the house and I wanted to call them. Number one, you can get a free skip trace, or number two, you can get an instant skip trace. And it only costs $1 for the instant skip trace. So if you're like a cat on a hot tin roof and you're like, I'm calling these people right now. Push the button, beep, doop, 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 doop. It all pops up on there, okay? You can click the button and call them. Also, it's gonna log when you made the call because it's a CRM too. So for those of you that are partners, definitely be making notes within the app of when you've called and when you're working on these leads. That way you keep up with it. So are you ready for me to work with you on this call? Good. All right. So you're seeing on your screen my script. This has taken me years to develop this script, but let me talk to you about this before we get into it. A lot of you are afraid to make phone calls. Do you know why? Because you're afraid because you feel like you're not going to do a good job, okay? You feel fearful because you're worried like what they might think, or that you might not get accomplished what you want to get accomplished. Honey, you got to let all that go. When you're approaching these sellers, I want you to remember to just be yourself. Don't try to act like someone that you're not. I mean, obviously, you're not going to talk the way that I do or say it the way I do. Otherwise, you probably sound silly with a crazy accent like mine, right? But you've got to be yourself. People want to do business with who they know and they trust. That's the most important thing. So I want to go over a couple more things before we get into this call because I want y'all to get it. Know in life there are two types of people in any scenario. Let me tell you what these two types of people are. Number one, you got the fighters. Number two, you got the fleers. 90% of all humans choose to flee instead of fight. And hey, guess what? That's okay. What would make someone flee a situation? Fear, divorce, death? Maybe, what would you say? Would y'all think maybe like they don't understand what's going on? Scared of the outcome? Olin, thanks, great job. Loss of a job? Okay. Rejection. Rejection's great. Stressed out. So what I want you to get here is the fact that when you're making these calls, you have got to get it out of your mind that you're making these calls to do a deal. That's not what you're doing. When you're making these calls, you're here to build a relationship. Your goal is not to get a deal. Your goal is to set an appointment, which means if you're going to cold call somebody right out of the blue, you better be awesome at making somebody feel comfortable, right? That's the whole goal. Avoid, using things that people don't understand. That's why when I cold call, I'm never going to call myself a real estate investor, even though I am. But I'm not going to say that because if I'm not a real estate investor and you call me and tell me you're a real estate investor and I'm not in real estate, that doesn't mean a hill of beans to me. Actually, it might actually be a turnoff because I might feel like, they might, take advantage of me or give me a lowball offer. Scotty, who I know personally, he says, you want to make them feel warm and fuzzy. You want to build relationships. I know he knows. Anthony, he had mentioned he's worried about saying the wrong thing. I do want to tell you something, Anthony. Listen, just if you're yourself, you're never going to say the wrong thing. All you're doing is trying to set an appointment here. If you're just starting to do this, I suggest that you start practicing in front of a mirror. Why? Because when I'm going to make calls, if I'm frowning when I make calls, my voice is going to sound like that. But when I smile when I make calls, people can hear it. They don't want to talk to somebody that feels down and sad and depressed. They want to talk to somebody with a good personality and someone that makes them feel comfortable. Throwing this out there, if it's okay, we're going to go ahead and start with this call. All right? So here it goes. John, hey, this is Julie. How are you doing today? Oh, good, good. Well, actually, the reason for my call is the other day I was driving down Main Street and I saw this property that I believe that you own at 975. Yeah. Well, you see, I buy, fix, and sell houses, and I buy and rent them out. And John, whenever I saw yours, I just knew I had to give you a call. I mean, it's exactly what I'm looking for. And I was just wondering, John, if there's any way I could come out there and, take a look at the property, meet with you, and make you an offer for it. Does this sound familiar? Let's use that Pontiac. John, I was driving by your yard and I saw this Pontiac in your yard. I have wanted one my whole life. Is there any way I could come out there, take a look at that car, check under the hood, make you an offer for it? You see, it's the same thing. That's how people want to be talked to. They don't want to be treated like you're over them and that you make them feel that way. You want people to feel comfortable. You want them to actually meet you. I'm going to break this call down and I'm going to do it one more time and I'm going to break it down and tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing. John, hey, this is Julie. How are you doing today? I'm going to call John because I like John to be like, Julie, why are you calling? Well, the reason for my call is the other day I was driving down Main Street and I saw this property that I believe that you own at 975. What I'm really saying there is, do you own the property at 975 Main Street? Okay, he'll go, yeah, well, why are you calling? Well, you see, I buy, fix, and sell houses, and I buy and rent them out in exchange for I'm a real estate investor. And when I saw yours, man, I just had to give you a call. It's like exactly what I'm looking for. And I was just wondering if there is any way I could come out there and meet with you, take a look at the property, and get you an offer for it. One thing that I want to go over is when you're setting an appointment, okay? Never ever ask somebody when they can meet. Does anybody want to tell me why you should never ask somebody, hey, when can you meet? I'm going to give y'all a second and have another drink of tea here. Oh man, y'all are fast. Exactly. Is whenever you ask someone whenever you can meet, you're only giving them another out to say, oh, well, I really don't want to meet, okay? You don't want to give them a chance to do that. Brad says you lose control. It gives them a reason to say no. Great job, guys. Instead, you say this. Well, I'd love to meet you at that property and make you an offer. How's tomorrow at 6 p.m.? Or the day after that at 3? In their mind, instead of them deciding, do I meet her or not? They're over there thinking, well, little Bobby's got soccer practice at 6 tomorrow, and at 3 o'clock I can't do it because I don't get off work at 2:45. I got a 45-minute drive. But it opens up conversation, and they'll go, well, you know what? Could you do Friday at noon? Because I work from home on Fridays, and my lunch break's between 12 and 1. I know that's a lot, right? But always give people options. When you give them options, you're going to get a lot better results, okay? Does that call seem hard to you? No, it's not. But the thing is, this call will never work for you if you try to do it just like I did it. Take the script, build around it, put your own tiny little spin on it and just be you. And remember, and I've said this a couple of times, but sometimes it takes a lot for us to kind of get it in our mind. When you're making this call, the goal is not to do a deal. The goal is to set an appointment and to build a relationship. Yeah, you may not get a deal on your first appointment, right? But if you try to set an appointment and you keep going on appointments, you will get houses under contract. You will get a deal done. You've got to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do. That's what's going to make you successful. That's what made me successful when I got in this business, because I had no other choice but to be successful. I'd already hit rock bottom, so I mean, what was I going to do, to dig to China and make it worse? No. I did what I had to do to get to where I wanted to be, and that's what I want you to do. These are just a few of the things that I learned in doing this business. And I hope those of you that are partners are looking to be partners. I am so excited about this app. We've worked so hard on it because we want to make this process easier for you so that you can get out there and get more deals done and not waste your time on activities that don't make you money. What makes you money? Making the calls, going to the appointments, gathering leads. You need to be out there shaking hands as much as possible. This is a relationship business. No other company is ever going to be able to compete with you. There's only one you, there's only one of your personality, and that's why you can be successful in this business too. But this training is just one of the many trainings that we offer here at the Partner Driven Coaching Program. We're not only where we show you exactly what to go look for, how to work your leads, and then you're thinking, oh goodness, what's the worst thing that could happen? I go get a house under contract and I don't know what to do with it, right? We will show you exactly how to disposition that deal. And let's just say that one of our strategies that we're going to choose between you and I and our team and you is to actually buy the house, fix the house, and resell it. We will fund 100% of the deal. We'll actually fund the rehab. Oh my gosh, that's another new thing I forgot to tell y'all about. I forget to tell people things all the time. But now we have partnered with our local construction company. And they will either come to your location and complete the rehab, or they'll help GC or manage the job with your local people. That way we've always got control of these rehabs. I'm so excited about that because for years with our partners, I was the one that managed the rehabs. And let me tell you, that can be a booger right there trying to do that. So super glad to partner with them. Not to mention that this is what they do, this is what they specialize in, and really you should stay in your lane. But guys, don't forget about wholesaling. Those of you that know me know wholesaling is my absolute favorite way to do deals. I love the art of the deal. I love the quickness of getting that money. It's a little bit quicker than a rehab, but there's just times where it doesn't make sense not to do the rehab, right? But with using our contracts, and even if it's your first deal, we'll help you sell that deal to where you're actually getting a check at the end of the day. That's the goal, right? Now, what I would like for you to do is if you have any questions, you could throw some of those up here in the chat bot. I don't know why I keep saying chat bot, the chat box. And I'll try to answer what I can. But now that I'm waiting on that, I do really suggest that you send every one of these a letter as well. You're not going to like this next part. When you go to do these letters, the most important thing you can do is handwrite the envelopes. My daughter's downstairs, so she may chuckle a little bit. Handwriting those envelopes is a super job for teenagers to help you with, right? Bringing your kids into the business, having them help you. I mean, it's your family. You're going on those things. So Just a thought there for you. But you want to get a letter out to everybody on your list on a handwritten envelope. The other cool thing about the app is, guess what? And you're like, oh gosh, she shows us that with her finger one more time. I'm going to do it one more time. Because you can literally push a button, pull it up, and you're like, oh, John Smith owns it. And he doesn't live here. He lives at this address. So for being one of our partners, immediately you can find that information right here on your cell phone. I mean, isn't that cool? Yeah, you dang right it's cool. I'm so excited that we do have that. But again, if anybody, let me look in the Q&A section. How do you get the app? So Joe said, is this the Deal Machine app? No, this is our app. It's proprietary. Actually, a gentleman by the name of Ben Howerton built this app. It can be very similar to the Deal Machine app in a way, but it's got a lot more. We actually have combined, and we're combining, and our partners know this because the app's not completely built out yet. We're combining a CRM system. We're combining printing. We're combining everything you need to get this business done. Actually, the ability to build teams. And I could talk about, this is another good webinar topic, by the way, Rafa, if you're listening. With the app, you can build teams. Because if you imagine doing driving for dollars I'm telling you about, but yet have somebody else go get all of your houses and find them all. Like for instance, Uber drivers or postmen or anybody else. And then imagine you can have them all build a team, find you the properties for you. In one of the future trainings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys exactly how to build a team like that so that you're doing more deals. Also, the app does run the estimated value of the property. It's going to have the ability to pull marketing lists directly within the app. So do you want pre-foreclosures immediately? It's going to be able to happen. Do you want all the vacant properties? Yes. And do you want to have them skip traced right there at your fingertips? That's what this is going to do. Now, when you're one of our partners, we are never going to charge you for any of this. Because the reason we built this app is so that our partners can get out there and get more deals done. Now, really, I mean, does the app run comps? Yes, Keith, it does. You're going to be able to look at properties around you that have recently sold. Just watch out for these little updates every week because Ben is working nonstop to add all these new features so that y'all will be able to do all this. Gloria said she would love to build a team and you want to work in other states. Well, Gloria, I'll put that on my list of webinars to do in the future because I'll show you how to build a team without any out-of-pocket expenses. Yeah. Be able to build a team and pay everyone commission, right? And whenever you do a deal, then you're going to be able to pay commission. But you're not just building a team, you're building a community around you of people that are going to learn and grow from you. You just got to be willing to do that, Gloria. And girl, I'm sure you are. If you're not on the app yet, actually go to our private Facebook group. If you're partnering, we got a private Facebook group. Check down there, there's some videos, and you need to go and download and get this app so that you have it on your phone. If you're a partner tonight and you don't have this new app downloaded, you got to get to it because you can get your skip tracing right on here for your driving for dollar leads. And within a couple of weeks, actually I think it's going to be October. All of the lists that we provide to you will also be on the app as well. So we just got to get everybody using it and get everybody going here. But those are just some of the things that are ahead. I mean, if you're not a partner and you've been in this business for a while, let me tell you something. Have you ever went and bought lists? Has anybody on this call ever bought lists before? Maybe vacant properties, maybe pre-foreclosure list? Yes. Lynn has, Anthony has, I know a lot of you have. Greg, Kimberly, thousands of records people have bought. Being our partner, we provide these leads to you at no additional charge, okay? We set this up this way because we want to give you every tool to be successful. So if you're a partner and you're not calling all your leads, shame on you. right? But if you're not a partner, that's just one more of those benefits to being our partner. Because every lead you buy from ListSource is going to be somewhere between 8 and 12 cents a piece. I don't know, let me try to see if I can do some math here. Say I was to buy 1,000 records times 12 cents. That's $120 just to buy 1,000 records. Plus, you have to individually skip trace every one of those, which we do for you. I mean, that could be up to $1 per lead. So that's $1,120 just to get 1,000 leads. So, what question do you need to be our partner? We're going to give you all the resources, all the leads, everything you need to be successful, okay? And when you get a deal, we're going to help you fund that deal. We're going to help you fix that deal. We're going to help you get that deal sold so that we both make money. And then we're going to split profits 50-50. Also, I teach people in this program how to do wholesale deals. Sometimes you need our financing to double close on those deals. And in that case, we split profits 50-50. I want you to build a wholesale business so much. I want to teach you how to do it. And guess what? I don't even need any of the profits. You can go do deals on your own, and we're not even going to request half the profits. My goal is for you to get out of that full-time, day-to-day grind that you're in every day, live the life of your dreams, the schedule of your choice, and be full-time in this business. And change your life through real estate investing like it did with mine. If you would like to learn more, hey, partners, thank y'all for being on tonight. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking to two sets of people. But if you would like to be part of our partner-driven one-on-one coaching program, then all you've got to do is visit www.partnerdriven.com, or you could schedule a call with one of our people at calljuliemuse.com, and you'll be able to talk to them. Okay? And then once you get signed up, guess what? I'm going to be there talking to you too. Because that's another thing. Oh, by the way, you can schedule a call with me anytime when you're one of our partners, because I want to help grow your business. I want you to be doing deals, and I want to build a big business in your marketplace. So, Rosalind, yes. If it's a deal we approve, we'll do the financing, which is fine. But thank you guys for taking your time out tonight. Thank you for being here. I really enjoyed it. Hope you love the new setup. I'm not at my kitchen table full of clothes anymore. Decided to bring you to the office today. But y'all have a blessed evening, and cannot wait to see you guys on the other side.